Welcome back to another Reptile Room vlog video with me, Reptile Jones. So in the last video, I kind of threw some ideas at you guys, and you guys came back with some really good ones. I asked for your feedback, and you guys definitely gave me tons of stuff to consider. And so this video, we're going to kind of go through some of that and then talk about what I ultimately decided to do with this tank. Okay, so I teased you guys with a thumbnail photo of the way this looks now, which is not what you got to see in the video. So let me back up a little bit and explain what happened. So as I edited that video, and while it was uploading, I was kind of waiting for it, trying to figure out what I was going to do for a thumbnail. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go play with this tank, and an idea will come to me. And that's what happened. I started grabbing all my excess cork tubing, the fake plants, all the stuff that I had extra, and I just started throwing it in there. Now this is not the way it's going to be, but it's kind of an idea of what I want to go with. Of course there's no substrate in there and that kind of stuff, but I needed the eye candy, and when I seen this set up like this, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take a photo and just, you know, kind of tease them a bit. So if you were hoping to see that in the last video, I do apologize. It was all in fun and games, you know, nothing sinister. I wasn't really trying to create like a clickbait, but maybe it did turn out that way, and I apologize. But anyways, so this is what I've been playing around with, and I tell you what, this has really been inspirational as far as helping me figure out what I want to do, because some of your suggestions, which we're going to talk about now, kind of either fit this or they don't fit this. So let's go right into just snakes right away, because a few snakes were suggested. First one was just to put one of my bigger snakes in here, and I did consider that, but here's the reason why I decided not to. Kind of two reasons, and the main, you know, one feeds the other. So with this tank, when I have to get inside this thing to do any kind of maintenance to it, as far as cleaning, feeding, watering, all that, I have to come in through the top. Now, a lot of snakes don't like that. You know, that kind of just freaks them out, because you're higher than them and you're coming down on them. Totally freaks them out. It's kind of like a predator-prey kind of response. And so that's why I'm not going to put a snake in here. Now, if this was an open front, it would have been very possible that a snake would have eventually made its way in here. But with it being a fish aquarium, and you have to come in over the top, I just felt like that wasn't the best option. But what I am going to do for the larger snakes is I am looking at getting some PVC caging for them that does have the sliding front door. So they will be getting a bigger cage eventually, just none of them's going into this one. Again, you know, that goes for tree snakes and all that. So that takes care of the snakes. Now, there were several other geckos that were suggested. I can't remember off the top of my head, but the issue with those geckos, while they are a great candidate for this cage, plenty of space for them, but here's the other thing that I want out of this tank is, not only do I want a nice display, which I couldn't do with big snakes. Big snakes would have tore this thing up right away, because they're just too heavy, and they essentially smash everything. So, and then the thinner snakes, you know, again, coming in over the top. But then some of the gecko suggestions were great. I believe it was tokays were suggested, maybe even cresteds. I don't fully remember, and I apologize. But I do remember this. Those geckos, if they were a nighttime gecko, part of the reason why I want to set this up is I want to enjoy it like people enjoy a fish tank. I want to set this thing up to look as natural as I can to the environment that the animals come from, but I also want to be able to sit in here and watch them do their thing throughout the day, as I can afford to sit here and watch them. You know, so I want that kind of same type of environment. You know, like if this was a fish tank, you know, you could come in here and you could watch the fish swim because they're active during the day, they're moving, they're doing their thing. So that's what I wanted for this. I wanted, it needed to be something that was diurnal so that way I can, you know, enjoy it during the daytime and not just hear it at nighttime when I'm trying to sleep and they're in here, you know, raising a ruckus. So that's why a lot of the nighttime dwelling geckos, I kind of decided they weren't a right fit for this. Some of you agreed with me on the gold dust day geckos and also the giant day gecko, the grandis. And that's where my struggle was, because I really like both of those, and I really would put either or in here. Trust me, I seriously would put gold dust day geckos in this big aquarium. Why? Because most people wouldn't even consider it. Why? Because they're a small gecko, and oftentimes in the hobby we try to put our animals in this minimalist space as possible. And you know, I understand that, and I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not scolding anybody for that. But what I want in this reptile room, what I want to see when I come in this reptile room is, like I said earlier, I want to be able to have the same relaxing eye candy as if this was a fish tank. I want it to be planted. I want it to be an active, live, moving, everything in the tank matters to keep it going. So I seriously was, okay, before let me just say this. It's going to be the grandis. It's going to be the large day geckos going in here. But that doesn't mean if I can find another 75-gallon aquarium and I could somewhere find a place to put it in here, probably not. Probably have to wait till the move and see how the new house is. But if I have room and another big tank, you can bet that I will have, I will do it. I am going to put an itty bitty gecko, day gecko, in a big aquarium just so I can enjoy it. I think I haven't seen anybody do it. I feel like it's going to be a very rewarding setup, or at least for me, at least for what I want to get out of this. So I'm going to. So I guess the giant day gecko is what's going to go in here. I did at the last reptile show, the Fort Wayne show, I was able to pick up a confirmed female for sure, and the second one is a suspect female. She's right there at the size where you can kind of relate that it's going to be a female, but not 100% yet. But that's fine, because here's what's got to happen. They have got to, they're about half grown. So before I put anybody in here, all the inhabitants will have to be of mature breeding animals, because I don't want to, because my suspect male, he is breeding size. The only reason I say suspect is because I haven't actually gotten him out of the cage to actually fully look at him. When I purchased him, I thought that he was looking like he could be a male, but since he's been in there, it's been totally hands off. And, you know, he's never on the front glass while I'm right there, so I can't really see, but I will have to capture him one of these times just to double check. But anyways, I don't want to, first of all, I don't want any one gecko to be in here first to, you know, kind of rule the roost, and then I introduce others, because that could lead to fighting. So I want them all to be introduced at the same time. And the other issue now is the two that I purchased, the two females, you know, they're not breeding size yet. So I don't want them in here with the male until they are right size to breed. Because ultimately that's what's going to happen. They are going to breed in here, hopefully, because to me that just kind of also, you know, reinforces that you're setting things up right if they're comfortable enough to breed. So, you know, breeding's going to happen, but I don't want to breed females that are too young. I don't want, you know, it's not worth the risk. I'm not doing this for money, so I don't need the babies to make money. So we can take our time, and that's what I'm going to do. We're going to get this thing set up so it's a complete bioactive setup. I want the microfauna, I want the springtails, the isopods, I want live plants, I want a good substrate in there that isn't going to, decay or rot right away. There's a blooper for you. And then, so we got some time is what I'm getting at. So the plants will have time to, establish themselves, and then eventually once the geckos reach maturity, all of them will be introduced at the same time. That way nobody can have, first dibs and kind of set up shop and then kind of, fight these other guys out of their territory. They will all be new to it at the same time, giving them all equal opportunity to explore and to, kind of lessen any potential aggression, because it's all new to all of them and nobody has the home ground, advantage. So that is what I'm going to do with this setup. I really hope that you guys are excited about this as I am, because this is something I've been wanting to do for a very, very long time. And sometimes you just got to keep working toward the dream. But, even if obstacles, get in your way, you just kind of have to, be flexible and just kind of move with it. And, but just keep pushing forward, keep aiming for it, and eventually you'll get there. If you want it bad enough, you will get there. So that's where we're at. We're just about there. We've got the animals now. So next step will be to set this up, let it grow, let it establish itself, and then let the girls grow up and mature at their own rate. We're not going to power feed them or anything. Again, this is not a rush. I do this for fun, not for money. So I have the luxury of taking my time with this. And so I'm really excited. I hope you guys are too. And if you've watched till this far into the video and you are not a subscriber, hit that subscribe tab, hit that little bell so that way you can be notified whenever I upload a video, which is pretty regularly, at least once a week. I definitely like to try to do more than that, just as material comes to me that I can, put together a good, decent video. So I want to thank you guys for sticking to the very end, and until next time, later.
Shut up and sit down.